Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my latest Mother's Day looks, and I'm also going to be sharing with you a McCall's haul. So let's check it out. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. My name is T, and if you have not done so yet, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button below this video. So in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and share with you my latest Mother's Day looks, and it includes a combination of patterns that I've used to create these looks. I will go ahead and tell you at the forefront that I did not get to take pictures with all my children. I was only able to get pictures with one. Two of my children are not at home at the time. They're grown and they're moved out. And the other two, the daughter that is home, she's 18 years old. And I was able to get pictures with her, but I was not able to get pictures with my son, Jace. We arrived at the shooting location and he just was not having any of that. He ended up taking his sister's skateboard, and he was skating around and everything in the park while we were taking the pictures, and he got dirty. So we were not able to get any of the pictures of him. He just looked a real hot mess. So we did not get pictures of him at all. But I was able to get pictures of the makes that I made for myself as well as for my daughter. And I'll share with you the patterns and the numbers today. But I'm not going to do the pattern review for these just yet. So if you have questions about these patterns, just go ahead and drop me a line in the comment section below and tell me specifically what you want to know about the pattern, so that way when I'm doing the pattern review, I'll keep that in mind. But for today, I'm just going to go ahead and share with you what I made. So are you ready? Yeah, I'm really excited to share with you what I have made. All right, so we're going to first start with the Berta pattern, and that is the top pattern that I made, and it is the Berta style. It's an easy pattern. It's rated for beginners, and it is a top, and it is a knit. It's a pattern that calls for knit fabrics. So you have two variations of this. You have view A, which is a long sleeve version, and view B, which is the short sleeve version. And I did view A. Now, remember, I'm not going to be sharing with you all the details because this isn't a pattern review. I just want to share with you the looks that I have made, and I will be sharing a pattern review of this particular pattern in the near future. So stay tuned for that. I will say this though, it does come in sizes 8 to 18. That's US sizes. So it has a really small range there in terms of the pattern size, but I'll tell you all the details and things that you can do, modifications you can do to expand that size. So anyway, that's the top pattern, and I'll make sure that I put a picture right here so you can see what that top turned out to look like. And this is just one of the versions that I created. I did make another top, and again, that's one of the reasons why I have not yet, I'm not doing the review just yet, just because I want to make sure that I have all my makes made up, and when I give my review, I'll have a well-rounded idea of the pattern and give you an idea of how the pattern sews up. So that's the top pattern that I made. For my skirt, I decided to go with the New Look 6437. This is a very easy skirt. It has 4 different variations of a skirt, and the skirt has gathers in the front of the skirt. It has a front flat waistband and an elasticated waistband in the back. You have an option of doing a belt for A and C, And then there's also an overlay version, and that's view D. And then there's also a version where you can actually put trim on your dress as well. So this is a really simple project. It calls for fabrics such as batiks, chambray, cotton lawn, cotton types, crepe, crepe de chine, gauze, silky types, vols, those types of fabrics. However, I did use a scuba knit fabric. Now this fabric did not have much stretch on the cross grain, and that's one of the reasons why I did it. And then also the scuba that I was working with is very, very silky and very, very drapey, and so I wanted to go for a specific look with this, and that's why I chose that particular fabric. So I would say you can use different types of fabrics. I wouldn't use like a knit that has 20% stretch on the cross grain or anything like that. Like I said, this particular scuba knit had maybe 2% elastane in it, and so it wasn't very much. So I knew it wasn't going to change the pattern very much, and so it turned out beautifully. And again, I'll put a picture here so you can see what that turned out to look like, and you can see the matching skirt and top that I made for this particular project, which I think turned out adorable. I love the blue, and this is a scuba knit that I was going to use for the Butterick B6330 jacket, which I just did a sew along for, but I thought that it would lend itself better to a skirt. I just did not like the way that the fabric draped for the jacket, and so I decided to use it for the skirt instead. So I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. Finally, for my daughter, I made the McCall's M80-58. This is not a new pattern for her or for me, and it's this pattern here, and this is the pattern that I actually made for her Easter dress. And you guys still have not seen our Easter mix, but I made this dress for her a number of times, and she really likes it, and so she wanted me to turn it into a top. So this is a very easy pattern. It only has 6 pieces, and you're only really working with, I think, let me see, the back, the front, the sleeve. So you're only really working with 3 pieces, because I think the other 3 pieces is a different skirt. Or yeah, so it's the V-neck skirt, or the V-neck dress, I should say, and that has a separate front piece and a separate back piece, and so that's why you have the different pieces, because you have different views, and those different views go with those different pattern pieces go with different views. And so you're only really working with 3 pieces. Like I said, I did view A, and I shortened it so that she could have a top. And I went with this because I was only going to make a top for my daughter, and I was going to shorten it. And so that's it. It's just easier to shorten, to shorten that one than to worry about the long one, unfolding the long pattern pieces and all that other stuff. So I just wanted to work with a really small pattern, and so I selected that one. And then also she wanted the round neckline anyway, and so that just worked perfectly. So so I just shortened it, and that's the only thing that I did. It's a relatively easy pattern, and you don't even have a neckband, so you're just folding the top edge of your fabric inward and stitching it down. You're doing the same thing for the hem and then also the sleeves. So it's very, very simple, straightforward, and easy. This pattern comes in a ranges of sizes, but like I said, I'll give my review of all of these later. If you have any questions about my sewing makes or anything like that, again, make sure that you leave those questions with me in the comment section below. So let's get into the haul. Okay, so we're gonna start the pattern haul off with McCall's M8219. And this is a pattern that just came out recently in McCall's the latest McCall's collection. And this is a pattern that is very easy. So it's rated for rated for beginners, and it calls for fabrics such as stretch knits that have at least 35% stretch on the cross grain, knits such as jerseys, cotton blend knits, interlock knits, and rib knits. in the project, depending on what view you choose, it calls for anywhere from 3/4 of a yard of fabric up to 1.5 yards of fabric. And that does kind of include all the different sizes. So as you can see, you have 3 different variations of a top. You have a crop top that has a band. All of these versions are faux wrap tops where you have that crossover that goes up at the yoke. And then, like I said, view A has a band and this crop top, has short sleeves. View B, you have the option of doing this particular garment sleeveless, and it has that crossover, but it also has a bottom a yoke piece to it. The back is cut out twice on all of these views, so you're not going to be cutting these on the fold. And then for view C, you have that long sleeve option. Now, you'll see that this pattern is very puffy and everything, and that's because I already took out the pieces and I already made this pattern. I made view C right here, but I used the shorter sleeve for it. I have to say I did not like this pattern. It's really rare that you will hear me give a bad pattern review. I just kind of omit the review and I just throw the pattern out, and I just don't even bother with doing the review, or don't even bother with I just don't bother. But with this particular pattern, because it's relatively new and I just did it, I just wanted to go ahead and tell you from the outset, I did not like this pattern. You know, on the model, you know, it shows that there's a little bit of cleavage that will be showing and everything, and I would have been totally fine with that, but it is not like that even in the slightest. It has like this really plunging V-neck line, and it goes pretty much, it covers pretty much the entire mid area of your boobs. Like, you're going to be seeing a lot, and that could be because I'm a D cup. Partly, I think that's partly the reason is that it's a D cup, but for the most part, I mean, because it's stretchy fabric, I really didn't have a problem with the cup size, to be honest with you. So I don't even think that I could say that it's the cup size, because it's very, you're working with very stretchy fabric. I chose a size, I believe the size I chose was, I chose a size on the pattern. It actually tells you the finished measurements, and I chose the size that's closest to a 39 inches for the bust for the finished measurement, because that is my bust size. And when you're working with a knit, you're going to have like that negative ease. So I decided to use the 39 inches for the bust for the finished measurements. And it still was just like, it was very baggy in the front. The neckline just gaped so badly and everything was showing. And then I tried to put an inset into the center of the pad where the crossover is, and I put the inset there, but I didn't make the inset long enough, and I feel like an inset would work and it would look very, very cute, but I didn't make the inset long enough, so it didn't cover as much as I wanted. But the point is that I, based on the model and based on what is shown here and presented here, I should not have had to do all of that. I was expecting for the pattern to actually cover majority of my breast area, and it just did not. So I didn't like the pattern for that specific reason. Everything else sewed up really well. The shoulder seam was on point. I didn't have to make any alterations there. The sleeves fit me just perfectly. I didn't have to make any bicep adjustments. And so everything else fit really well. It's just that neckline is just wide open. It's just a really wide open neckline. It's not as advertised at all. And so for that reason, I was very disappointed, and I didn't really like the pattern for that particular reason. But if you are someone who likes those types of necklines and that is your style, this will be a very easy pattern to sew up. And for what I can tell, it is pretty true to size, so it's not bad in that regards. It comes in sizes 6 to 14, and then 14 to 24. So you do have an array of different sizes. And in terms of body measurements, what that means is for a 6, it's 30.5 inches for the bust, and it goes up to 46 inches for the bust. And then for the waist, it's 23 inches for the waist, and that goes up to 39 inches for the waist. And then for the hips, it's 32.5 inches, and that goes up to 48 inches for the hips. So it has a pretty nice, generous size, especially for knits. It's very easy to sew up, but don't expect for it to cover your cleavage, because it does not. I mean, I would even venture to say that it opens so much so that if you're not careful, you might even see the front of your business. So just to keep that in mind. So the second pattern that I picked up is the McCall's M8198. This is another pattern that goes from 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. It is a cute little top. I have not made this one yet. It's very easy, and it calls for fabrics such as poplin, cotton blends, crepes, charmeuse. It has different variations here. You have a variation of a notched collar for view A that has gathered sleeves, a sleeve band, and then also you have a band at the bottom of the shirt that you could put elastic in. It appears as if the front of the garment is cut out twice instead of cut on fold. So I'm thinking, let's see here, it calls for elastic, and it does not call for a zipper. So it appears as if you're going to be putting that garment on overhead and using the elastic as your closure. For view B, it's the same top, except for you don't have the gathers at the shoulder line. You just have a flat sleeve there at the sleeve head, and then you have the option of gathering the waist in with a tie belt. For view C, again, same version. You just have a long sleeve. The sleeves have elastic at the end of the sleeve, and you have gathers at the sleeve head. The back is, the back of this one looks like it's going to be a different back, because it has, here, I'll show you. So the back has darting in the back for view C, but also at the waistline in the front, you have a little tie. So it's a cute little pattern, and I thought that this would be fun to make. I think I would make view B for the summer in a nice little cotton lawn or a cotton poplin. I think that would be really cute. So this next pattern is McCall's M8203, and this is a pattern, again, it comes in 2 different sizes. So you have 6 to 14 and 16 to 24, and this one is a cute little jumpsuit here, also calling for poplin, cotton blends, denim, and challis type fabrics. It's easy, so it's rated for beginners, and it comes with 18 different pieces, and it consists of a romper, jumpsuits, and a sash. And it also has A, B, C, D cup sizes as well for your for the bodice portion of your jumpsuit. Now, I purchased this particular pattern because I thought it would be cute to match the bodice part of the jumpsuit with a skirt or some kind of like an A-line skirt, or even maybe a pleated skirt. I thought that would be cute. This particular pattern has 4 different variations. So you can make shorts. So that's the first view, which is this view right here, and it has ruffles around the neckline, and it has darts in the front and the back, and it also has an invisible zipper that you're going to be putting in the back for a closure, and a sleeve band, and ruffles around the neckline of the front and the back of the jumpsuit. For view B, is basically the same jumpsuit, ruffles around the neck. You have the option of making a sash. darting on the front and the back of the garment, as well as instead of shorts, you're making jumpsuit long pants. So I thought that was cute as well. And then for view B, it's the same view. It's basically the same as view A, except for you have a different neckline here. You have a rounded neckline instead of the square neckline. And then the sleeves are a little bit shorter, or no, it's the same sleeves as view A. So you have your gathered puff sleeve with the sleeve band, and your long pants with your invisible zipper that you're going to be using there. So in all of these different pieces for the bodice, it has princess seams. So I thought that that would be fun as well, so that you could get the right size. And with the princess seams as well as the cup sizes, you know, you should be able to get a really nice contour look. So I really like that, and I think it will be paired perfectly with a skirt, or you know, an A-line skirt or a pleated skirt. So that's why I picked this particular pattern up. I also picked McCall's M8205. This is a pattern that comes in extra small to medium, or large to 2XL, and it's just a skirt. But I thought that it would be really fun and cute. It's so easy to make these skirts without a pattern, but I just wanted to have one in my stash. I don't have one like this one, so I thought that it would be fun to have a pattern like this in my stash. This particular pattern calls for fabrics such as cotton blends, gingham, sateen, and poplin. It has 5 pattern pieces, and it calls for a generous amount of fabric. It's not overwhelming. If you're working with a 45-inch wide fabric, you're looking at 2 to 2/4 of a yard of fabric, and if you're working with the 60-inch wide fabric, you're looking at about 2 1/4 to 2 5/8 yards of fabric for views B. For the longer versions, obviously you're using more fabric, but for the shorter versions, you don't really need as much fabric. So and it also calls for your fusible facing for your band. So it has a long skirt, which is cut twice, because that's how you got. So for the front, you have 2 separate colors here. So you're doing some color blocking there. So the front pattern piece is cut out twice, and the back is also cut out twice. So you don't have anything that you're cutting on fold, and you're using a zipper, a 7-inch zipper for your closure, and a hook and eye. I also picked up McCall's M8211, and this pattern is actually, it has plus sizes for this one. So I thought that that was interesting. So the size that I got the plus size, and that's 18W to 24W. So that's this pattern right here. It comes with 15 pieces. It's easy, so it's rated for beginners and advanced beginners. It calls for fabrics such as eyelet fabrics, gingham, cotton blends, sateen, and you also are going to be putting a lining in here, and it calls for lining type fabrics or vols. You have 3 different variations of a dress here. So and it has a midriff in the middle of the dress. As you can see, for views, these 2 views here, you will be attaching sleeves onto the pattern, but for the view that the model is wearing, is sleeveless, and it's a scrappy dress. So it's really cute, and I really like the way that it looks. So I'll let you see the back here. In the back also, you're going to be putting an invisible zipper back there, and so so I think that's pretty cool, and that's going to be your closure. And also for view C, I forgot to tell you here, for view C, it also, you have the option of it has tiers here. So this is a tiered dress. So I really like that. So that was it for my recent McCall hauls, but I also picked up this McCall's level 1 Learn to Sew pattern. It is extra small to medium, but you can also get a large to 2XL for this pattern. And it's this pattern right here. It's an older pattern. It's not anything new, but I picked this up because I want to make my daughter just a simple little dress, a little circle skirt, a half circle skirt. And this particular pattern calls for medium weight, moderate stretch knit fabrics such as matte jersey, interlock jersey, and ponte knits. And I have a scuba knit, and you know, scuba is quite similar to ponte, and so I think that I'm going to make her a little skirt out of this. It's just three pattern pieces. You have your front, your back, and you also have a waistband, but it has 4 pattern pieces here because, as you can see here, this view here is quite different. It has a handkerchief hem, and so it's different than the other two. So that's why you're going to have your other pattern pieces for this one. But it's very simple and easy, and I'm looking forward to making my daughter a little skirt out of this one here. So it's not new, but it's a really nice pattern. And then lastly, for new look, I don't know if you all know this, but the Joann fabric stores, as well as the Hobby Lobby stores in the United States, have been phasing out the new look collection. So if you are in your Joann fabric store or your Hobby Lobby, just make sure that you pick up some of these copies, because I don't think that they're going to be around for much longer. So I decided to pick up the new look 6381, and this one is this pattern right here, which is a very easy pattern made for knits. You have 4 different variations of maxi style type flowy garments here. So you can make a dress, a really long maxi dress, or you can make a really long maxi pants, or you can make some shorts. So I really like this, and it has different options of like different bands and things like that that you can use for the pattern, and I thought that it was fun and very interesting. And then I picked up one more new look pattern, and I'm gonna show you that here. Okay, I am back. So this new look pattern is the N6679, and it's just what I think is a really nice classic dress pattern here. Sorry, the lighting is on this pretty badly, but it's a beautiful nice little sheath dress, or like a close fitting dress, but it has these different sleeve options. And so I really like this poofy sleeve option here that the model is wearing. I am so sorry. New look patterns have like this glossy cover on them instead of the matte covers, and so that's why the lighting is a little bit differently with this. But I really love the poofy sleeve. It has a sleeve band on it as well. You're going to be using a zipper for the closure, and that goes in the back. It also has like a vent in the back of the dress as well, near the hem. So it has like the slit and the vent in the back. And then it also has a straight sleeve option as well, which is this view right here. And it is just basically just a classic sheath dress, in my opinion. And it has this rounded neckline as well. And you have the option of using a tie belt as well for this one. And I'll show you the back here. So there are the drawings here, the line art, and it's a really beautiful pattern. I think it's just really nice and classic, and has this really nice classic look to it. So the fabric suggestions are silky type fabrics, crepe de chine, sateen, poplin, soft light weight linens, and ponte. So it's really simple, and it calls for a 22-inch zipper. So you're going to have, you know, your standard zipper that goes down the length of the back of the garment. So I think this is a cute little pattern, and it would be nice, something real cute to wear out on a town, you know. So anyway, I really like that one. And as I stated before, the new look patterns are starting to phase out in the stores. So just make sure, if you like any of the new look patterns, you make sure you get yourself a copy, because they are starting to dwindle, and I don't think that they're going to be reproducing them any longer. So anyway, that's something that I think that I think you should go ahead and grab a couple of those. So that's basically my haul for today, and my Mother's Day looks and all that good stuff. Stay tuned for the reviews for these Mother Day looks, especially for the skirt and also for the top of the pattern the two patterns that I made for myself. Those are the two that will be coming up soon. I just finished another version of that dress, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of put off doing the pattern review until I have all my versions completed, because I have used different fabrics. So the first one, like I said, the one that is in the blue scuba knit, that's a totally different fabric. So I want to give my honest review of what that fabric sewed up like, and how that fabric sewed up with that particular pattern of choice. And then I used a cotton poplin as well, and that's actually one of the fabric recommendations. And so I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what looks you can get with different fabrics and different materials, and so that's why I wanted to hold off on that one. So anyway, that will be coming up pretty soon, and you'll be seeing some of my Minerva makes and things like that as well, because I did make some things with my Minerva makes. So anyway, stay tuned for all of that. I thank you for coming in today. I hope you had fun and enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers and all of the subscribers that have been here, the lifers. Thank you so much for coming in and supporting the channel, for lending me your time and your support. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. All right, so I hope again to get all those videos out pretty soon. And until next time, everyone, stay creative and have a blessed week. Happy sewing week. All right, bye.